Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Got Milk Gaming. We have here a deck profile. Um, we won the 3v3 in Imperial Gaming in Southington, Connecticut. Shout out to Goofy Gaming for the trophies. So the deck profile we have right now is gonna be eldlich, synchro, Buster Blader, Dragoon. They both played the same build, card for card, side and main. And I'm gonna let them explain everything.
So yeah, no, the deck was pretty good today. He drew a little bit more on the low end. I did pretty well. I went 7-0.
7-0.
Yeah, I dropped one game, so I 2-0'd pretty much everybody. I 2-0'd all my opponents in top cut, so that was pretty nice. Basically, like the strategy of the deck is that it's all one card starters, one card engines, a lot of hand traps, and then
there's a lot of high impact trap cards too.
Yeah, the Buster Blader cards are just really unfair. Really unfair.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time now.
Oh yes.
All right, start us off.
So you start with obviously 3 Buster Well. That's like your 1-card combo for Prologue. The Prologue lock, it shuts down pretty much every deck right now. It's like a DNA surgery plus a skill drain, but like you can't play cost because they can't actually activate, and it's like an OTK button. So it's also a tuner. So and it's level 1. So like you can go into Link Karibo with this. You can go into Striker Dragon with this, which that comes up a lot. That helps you combo.
Absolutely.
Link Karibo, really good right now. For a few reasons, it helps you play your hand traps, just having that in your graveyard, trying to do a combo, and then also in matchups like against dinosaurs, it's really strong to have. After that, it's 3 Tracer. So this card, it's a tuner as well, but also Tracer by itself gets you to Dragoon, because you have the Striker Dragon play, then you go into Verte, using its effect. We only played 1 Rocket, so we just played a Synchron. We decided to do Synchron because 1, it's level 1, 2, it's a tuner, 3, because Recharge is terrible.
Recharge is a hard brick. That card has no application outside of Striker combo.
We only play 1 Striker, so like it doesn't really
there was literally no point in playing the card.
Yeah. So that's it for like 1 card like monster starters, but after that it's 2 Eldlich. We tried it 1, but Ice Dragon Prison's really good and punishes really hard. It actually came up against an opponent today. He Ice Dragon his opponent and lost his only Eldlich, so just won that match. Then the rest of the monsters are hand traps and risks. So you have to play Lamia. Lamia is not great, but you need it for Dark Contract. And then we decided to play this. So normally you play Diva in decks like this, but Diva sucks. Like Tracer is just way better. You get residual value using Boot Sector and stuff like that. The reason we were doing the Phalanx we found was when you do the combo, especially if you open Prologue or you start it with Well because it's a tuner as well. The issue is that you have Herald on board, and so when you go to use
Red Eyes Fusion.
Yeah, the Red Eyes Fusion using Verte, your Dark Magician and Red Eyes gets banished, which comes up because if you have Prologue, it's not live anymore because you don't have a dragon in the grave. You have to have some little setup for that, so you gotta have a dragon in the grave. So if you don't start with Whelp, you gotta summon a dragon, and this is the best level 2. It's an effect. It's a tuner. Like
It was this or Galaxy Serpent, and this one is just like slightly not as terrible.
right, because if you're gonna make Verte, like Galaxy Serpent had to go into something first. Unfortunately, it's play 2 Buster Blader because like you can't resolve Prologue if it's in your hand. So you have to play 2 really awful cards. You can summon it from your hand with Buster Whelp, but like that almost never comes up. That's terrible most of the
Playing
time.
2 also comes up if Prologue gets negated, if the first one gets stopped, because the Buster Dragon stays in the extra deck, you can just send cost again. And that came up a couple of times.
That came up for me today. Yeah, my opponent judgmented my Prologue, and I trap tricked for another one, so I was able to resolve it. And then you have to play these because Dragoon is really unfair. So we actually play vanilla. So we play Buster Blader, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes in an actual deck.
That is insane.
On purpose.
On purpose?
Sometimes you draw them and you feel bad, but so this hand trap was actually really good. Like it's kind of like a shittier effect veiler.
Oh, but it's a great effect.
Yeah, so like Buster Blader is kind of becoming relevant in the meta, and so on your turn when they summon the lock, the only way to out it is you have to negate it during your turn. Otherwise, like your turn's ending and you're probably gonna lose that game. So I figured out that if they summon on your turn, you can use this. But suppose you can't use Veiler, you target the fusion, and then in this deck specifically, you'll go into Dragoon and you get to pop the fusion. So they lose 2,800 for the Dragoon effect, and then 2,800 more because of this card's effect. It was silly. I actually won a game today because I got my opponent down at 2,000 life points. He actually finally drew into like a playable hand, a combination of cards, and he activated Metalfoes Fusion, summoned whatever that Metalfoes Fusion monster is. I mournered it. And he
What?
Yeah, it was a nice deck. That
Pure
deck was
Metalfoe.
it was pure Metalfoes. That
Deck
deck
was
was
legit.
actually pretty sick. So I had just Dragoon on board. I negated with Dragoon. He took with Tactics, but his only play was to attack me. I wasn't dead. I was at full before, so it was like my Dragoon plus his Metalfoes Fusion, and then he had to pass and die to my Dragoon, or if he linked away his Fusion, the Mourner would have burned him to death because it had 2,600 attack points. That was
Oh my god.
that was really good. Valor, you have to play for the Celine play, and also like it's Valor.
Yeah, Valor's really solid right now.
It's solid, yeah. This card's good again. So I thought this card actually sucked for like 2 or 3 months. This card was terrible. This card was horrible. But now people are activating Red Eyes Fusion. And so this card says skip your opponent's turn and then activate Red Eyes Fusion.
Makes people very
That's
sad.
very, very good. And then Dragon Link is the best deck. So you gotta respect. You have to play the only hand trap that's like always impactful against. I mean, always is a loose term, I guess, but yeah. And that's it for the monsters. Nibiru is really strong. Obviously, Nibiru in combination with Sanguine is broken because you activate it, and then the Nibiru stays in your hand. It's like the Orcus interaction, and they don't get a token, so they get nothing. That comes up. That's very important against decks like Dragon Link and Infernoble because now they don't have a token to use with the tuner for their help. So it's like 2 hand traps.
Yeah, you also get to hit him again with it, which is super nice.
Well, yeah, you get to save it. So that's it for monsters. I think it's like 37 monsters. Yeah.
It's end number.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of monsters. Yeah. So then, for like
And how many cards are in the build?
So it's a 60 card deck. It's the only way you can't really play it smaller, unfortunately, for consistency reasons. There's just a lot of engines. So yeah, going on to the spells. Precurse Eldland. This is the only actually good Eldlich card, but it's really good. The Eldlich cards grind.
Oh, true.
But like all the Eldlich cards are actually bricks in your hand. Like they suck. But this card's actually good. This card like breaks boards, it applies pressure. I won a game today because I activated this against, it was a Buster Player Mirror. There's one other Buster Player there, or 2 other. But I played one twice. Really good. Joe Bogley, fantastic player.
He dropped strikers?
Yeah, he's playing Buster Player. The deck's crazy. It's so good. It has so many good matchups. But yeah, so he had to negate this because eventually we've played many times now. We tested and this Eldlich engine beats him every time, so he tried to like smother me out of it. And because he negated this, he ended up losing because he couldn't negate my combo. Because this is, we actually hid this list for a while. This is like, because the combo's like pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah, the combo uninterrupted will end you on like 2 negates plus
we can show it
any
again
amount
if
of
you
back row.
want.
Yeah.
This is the best starter. This card always plays through like 1 bad hand trap every single time. Gets your Dragoon
This will play through anything not named Nibiru or Gamma.
or Ogre.
Yeah, or Ogre.
Those are the only ones that are good. But
Anything that removes the material.
exactly, yeah. No, this card's crazy. You get the Link Karibo. Yeah, and it's also an extender. So like, if you start with one of your other starters or like your normal Whelp, you can summon the Lamia out of your hand. So like, that's really good, and that comes up a lot.
Insane.
Yeah. Then we have the Rocket Package. So like, this card's a 1-card Dragoon. It's also like just an extender at any point you want. It also gets a drag into the grave, which is really important for Prologue. Yeah, that's like the biggest struggle when we were testing other versions of the deck. We tried a lot of versions. I was playing a Red Eyes version, Red Eyes Eldlich, with like insights and stuff. And the
But
problem
you
was,
also went undefeated with that build for like 3 weeks.
yeah, I was undefeated with that for 3 weeks, but this one was better because that time I was just like grinding out my opponents over and over and over. Which you can do that with this. The Eldlich count is like pretty much the same, but you apply a lot more pressure, especially when setting this combo because you can hand trap them. The problem with builds like the Red Eyes one and like a lot of control decks is you can't like actually like threaten too much after you use like 3 or 4 hand traps. This is all 1 card. This is so going second. They have 2 cards in the field. This is like full Hulk combo. Otherwise, this by itself, because like you have Striker Dragon, pop itself. You have then boot sector back to Tracer. Tracer pop the boot. Summon the Synchron. It's a free Verte right there. So that was really really strong. That was really good all day. This card was busted. The boot sector, you have to play it. This card, it's so bad, but it's so good.
I bricked on it one time.
Yeah, it's like you don't want to see it, but like. Fucking strong, dude. And it gets a lot of residual values in the control matchups. If this card gets to stay up, like it's a +1 or 2 every turn. It's crazy.
Yeah,
And then,
we're only playing the Tuner Rocket, so it's always the second Hunk of Fibrax.
right. Yeah, that's because that's big. We play 2 health. We'll see later when we get to the extra deck. Then 3 of this. So like, Dragoon's just really dumb. It just wins matchups by itself. I'm like, this card's super restricting, and it makes you play vanillas. But like,
But who cares?
yeah, who cares, dude? That card is so dumb. Yeah, that card gotta be banned. So then, like, the actual best card in the deck. So we're moving on to trap cards. Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman. So it took forever for people to realize that this card's actually good. So,
Oh my god, baby.
important to know, you can't ash this. It sends for cost a Buster Blader monster and a Destruction Sword card. So normally what you send is this. This card sucks, but you need it. You also can send the Buster Whelp. So it came up to me today. My opponent judgmented. I sent this and 1 Buster Blader. Poor Wayne to play 2. And he judgmented. I go Trap Trick, set another one, activate another one. You could send this because it's also a Destruction Sword card. So and it's a free Dragon in the grave. So like if you do brick on this, you can get it to the grave with Dragoon or Eldlich or something. Prologue can still resolve and get the Dragon to the grave for free. So that was pretty good. Yeah, this card, every time I activated this, the game was over. Every single time. I'll move on to the Eldlich package. The okay Eldlich card. Conquistador. Everyone knows
Take mine out.
Yes, well that's actually important. This card threatens Mystic Mine. I beat a Dino player today because he thought that he was going to win by just making me Center Mystic Mine. And then I started activating Eldlich cards, and he was not very happy to see that.
Who's that? Sam Chung?
Yeah, Sam Chung.
Damn.
I played him twice today. Sam Chung did not get a
Oh,
game.
hit him with the smoke today.
Yeah, he lost to Eldlich, so we played in Swiss, and like I just played Eldlich card to beat him the first time, and then we played in Top Cut, and he lost twice to Prologue.
Just like Prologue pass.
Prologue. Well, I had Prologue, I went first. He ashed my Buster Roll, but I had a Trap Trick, and then I had Combo on top of it, and then game 2 I Dark Rulered him, and then I comboed, and then I set Prologue. How gross. So like this card's not great. It's 60 and it's tight, so we had to cut this. It was a third of this or a second Golden Lord, and we figured, yes, we're cutting the like longevity of the engine down, but the Golden Lord was really important to get banished. And like Golden Lord's good going second sometimes to like out things. In a lot of matchups, you do want to have it, like 2 of it just in case. It also applies a lot of pressure to have 2 of them on the board. So like this card's really good in some matchups. It's good against Buster Blader, and it's good against dinosaurs, of course. That won me a game top decking this, being a Dino player. Sanguine, it's the only elixir we play. Good card. Probably will get limited at some point. I have no complaints about this card. It grabs a tuner, grabs Eldlich. This is like 25 direct. It's great. Yeah. Anything to say about the Eldlich engine?
You don't necessarily need to play the third Haketo because we don't play multiple Eldlixirs, so we're only floating into so many at a time. And this ratio kind of gets them all out of your deck if you start off with like a gold, like with 1 and a Cursed Eldland.
Yeah. Another interaction we did not mention before. If you have Tracer and Cursed Eldland, that is like insane. So like this engine, it's hard to set up because you always need 2 pieces. But if you have Eldland with Tracer, you just like search like a Conquistador, Tracer pop your Eldland. So now you're getting your 2 material for Dragoon, plus now you get to send like a Haquero or something and set a Sanguine. So like now you have Dragoon plus a Conquistador.
Yeah, I would send a Golden Lord off that.
You could do that too. Your Eldlich engine's always live up to that. It's so dumb.
It's insane.
This card was really good today. So we play a few targets for it. So the targets are 2 Ice Dragon Prison, 3 in Perm.
And then the 3 Prologue.
And of course, the main one is, of course, where is it? Yeah.
How did the Ice Dragon work out for you today?
Best card in the deck.
Well, okay, no, that's definitely Prologue, but like this card's really...
This card won me more games.
Well, for me, there was this. I resolved this a few times. Like, this is good against Dragonlink. And Warrior. This can end their turn like by
And
itself
Dinosaur.
sometimes. Dinosaur's good. You have to chain it to miss, which kind of sucks, but like...
It's good against Eldlich too.
It's good. Very good against Eldlich. That won us in one of our top cut matches. Most of the time I'm grabbing this, but it is a cool interaction with the Trap Trick that you can like grab an Imperm, set it in a column of something you know your opponent has set. So now you have that.
Spell
Yeah.
Sharpening, yeah.
Yeah, got that like utility. Trap Trick, love that card. Favorite, probably my favorite card that's in the game, like period. I don't like trap cards. Trap cards are terrible. I'm playing a lot of them, but like trap cards suck. But Trap Trick is a good card.
Here, we'll do tokens first.
Yeah, so most important inclusion, I was playing 2 Hippo token.
Oh.
Yeah, so like this, most opponents get intimidated, it's like a special ability. And yeah, that's all I have to say about that one.
Actually,
Yeah, so we'll start with synchros. You have to play this for the combo. Everyone's like seen the combo at this point. It's pretty much similar to the old Eldlich combo, except you want a Dragoon. Play the Herald for that. Obviously, you know why. This is a synchro, but it kind of goes together. The 2 cards for the Buster Blader. So, like the way this works is, Memory summons this, and it sends, or not Memories. Prologue summons this, and Memory sends the Buster Blader, and the Memories to the grave, and the Memories can chain because it's for cost, and you get these at the same time. They're both continuous effects, so they happen immediately on summon. This turns everything into a dragon that your opponent controls. This says, your opponent cannot attempt to activate the effect of dragon monsters. Dragon monsters are all forced into defense mode. He gains 1,000 attack and defense for every dragon on your opponent's field and graveyard, and he does piercing. So like, you don't need this against Dragon Link. This card comes out like, that is game. This thing's gonna be fucking massive, and the game is over. I've had this thing at like 15,000 attack points.
that card one-shots people.
Yeah, like
Grandmaju.
your Grandma's in defense mode, my guy. It's a dragon monster. Even the OG Buster Blader, like you could play the retrain Buster Blader, but like he doesn't work with Whelp, and like he doesn't get big. You can make what's called big. The other thing that's important why you have to play the OG, this card summons a Buster Blader monster from the graveyard. Can't summon this, has to be fusion summoned. But if you go Prologue and you don't chain Memories, right? So now this comes out. Use its effect to summon Buster Blader. That's 2 link material. You can link them into whatever you want. And then now this is a dragon in the grave, plus the Buster Blader. You can summon this with the memory. So memories is also 3 link material. So it's like a mini scapegoat.
And to be clear, you could use the new Buster Blader still. It counts as Buster Blader in the graveyard, but
Right.
the older Buster Blader applies more pressure to the vast majority of decks.
Right, so because you're only summoning Buster Blader when this is on the field, Buster Blader automatically comes out at 3100. That's bigger than Dragoon, bigger than the DLS Link. It's bigger than Eldlich, unless he's boosted, of course. But against like Dragon Link, even just summoning OG Buster Blader is just, he's so big.
Yeah, he hits over hoes.
Yeah. Moving on. God card. This card needs to be banned so bad. Like, so bad. I didn't even use his negate effect. I just summoned this guy and burnt people to death. Like,
I killed a lot of people.
he did
with
not
that
need to
deck.
have the effect to burn things. He can't be targeted and destroyed. Like, what the hell? It makes people play Dark Magician and Red Eyes in their deck. Like, that's how bad that card is. At least good. Bad for the game. The Link 1s. So, like, you need these to start, like, your 2, like, combo pieces, like your starters. Obviously, Whelp goes into either one. But you need this. Yeah, they're just great. You need this to turn your Eldritch cards into an effect monster for Verte, also an Nibiru token. So, yeah, no, this card was good.
Yeah, like Spider's clutch.
Yeah, it had to be this instead of Imduk, even though Imduk's a dragon, but like you can't use tokens, so that's better. You need this for the combo.
It's also a stupid card.
Well, yeah, then this card also should be banned. This card with this card, unfair. So Link 2s, obviously this card is game, like all the time, and so is this card, to be fair. So yeah, like the combo is summon the Phalanx off of this, make Marcher, bring back Phalanx, make Herald, turn Phalanx into Striker Dragon if you haven't made Striker already, get a free card to discard, and then Striker Dragon and Link Cross go into this, and then Dragoon.
So why did you choose to do 2 Crystron instead of just 1? And then
I'm gonna get there, so there's a reason, because we were also playing this package.
Okay.
Yeah, we thought Halq Selene would be really good kill power in the deck, which came up a lot.
So the second Hulk is for this combo. Also, I mean, if your first one gets negated, you have the option to go into it later in the game, but a lot of the time the second Hulk is used to go into these. Like, this is just dumb. And then the last card is BLS Link, because we have really high-level monsters, and this is, it's kind of like a mini Dragoon. It plays the same function in a lot of matches, because it can't be targeted or destroyed when you use the big monsters. And it banishes things, and it can get really big. So if you use his effective boost twice, any control deck, they just lose. Like, their only out most time is this anyways. But against Eldritch and stuff, like the ability to banish things, it's an out to Dragoon. This actually is, another reason is in the mirror. You have 3 monsters in the field, so when they get into the lock, everything's forced in defense mode. Link monsters can't be in defense. So you make this, swing over the Buster Dragon, he has 2000 defense, and then you can banish anything you want. So this outs, like, the lock in the mirror. That was good.
Insane.
So yeah, that's the extra deck. I could do side deck. For monsters, 3 Kaiju. The Kaijus are so good right now. You can out the extra deck locks, you can out Dragoon, you can out the Buster Lock, out Macabas, Windows, like, these were really good. UCTs. I played a lot of Dinosaur today, like a lot of Dinosaur.
Well, yeah, it's cheap and good.
Yeah, you came back in a
miscellaneous.
game with 200 life points because he kaiju'd over a UCT.
Yeah, I had 200 life points. My opponent had 8k. I Kaiju to UCT, set Sanguine Conquistador, and he lost. Like, it was crazy.
Oh my god.
I think I maybe had a quarter or 2. I don't know. Eldritch cards, after turn like 2, they're really good.
Yeah,
Resources are down.
they're your entire grind game.
This is actually the only hand trap we had on the side. So like we were playing more, but like we cut it down. So there's 15 in the main plus these 3, so it's only 18 with only 18, but it's 60. So like that leaves you with about a 50,
Only 18.
like a 51ish% chance to open 2 post signing, something like that. It's about a 50-50, but by itself, it's a really impactful hand trap, and like if you can use it on your own turn, it's a tuner. Also, you could side out Phalanx going second because that card's horrible to draw, and you can just have this because it's level 2. Yes, you won't have the dragon, but going second, like, you have higher, I don't know, it always works out. You have a better chance to get dragons in the grave between like quick launches.
Oh yeah, you have your 6th card.
Right, yeah. So like, this being another level 2 came up a lot, and that you don't have to like have that other brick in your deck. It's 1 free side out. Spell trap removal. Yes, this could be 3 Lightning Storm, but this card is unbanned. And so we're playing this one. Also, this was the only, like, besides Conquistador, mid-game out to Mystic Mind. If you could top deck this at 8 point, it's good. Like, this requires setup. I have, twice now, Tribute set a Dark Magician to resolve this card. So, like, very doable. But, card was good. I used it once, and it was bad. But, like, the card is good. I used it once on a Metal Foes trap, and it went to search. It ripped an ash out of my hand. I was like, that kind of sucked. But
I was using these like MSTs, they were great.
yeah, I only use it as an MST. This card was good. I used it going second against Dino and Top Cut. This was the only time it ever really came up. I drew it in the mirror, but like I hand trapped him enough that it didn't matter. So Like this card, I just think you have to play it now. Between the Buster Lock, Dragon Link deck, the Dino deck, the Warrior deck, like even if they're gonna hand rip you, like Smoke Grenade and stuff, they have to rip this card. So like if you have a strong hand that can push through stops, now you get to keep your engine pieces. And like it's just
so much better.
yeah, like it's such a good card. I hate this card.
The card was really good for cleaving through random things.
And then, okay, I'm all for this card. This card's really good. I did not want to play this. I wanted to play Ogres, but he convinced me to play this, and it was really good. Actually.
Oh, it's so clutch.
Yeah, like this deck. Once you get prologue, the only thing that could beat you are spell cards. Like that's it. And like even with dragoon, like only spell cards are gonna beat you for the most part. So.
Yeah, cards like Tactics, cards like Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Droplets.
Especially because Prologue's a trap card. You don't have to put your monsters up right away. You can flip this and then Prologue them once they have a monster on board.
But it also counts as multiple hand traps for his combo decks that need spell cards to combo, like your Dragon Links and your Warrior decks.
Right, yeah. They use a lot of spells. It also, our buddy Paolo, he topped PPG this weekend.
Yeah, got top 16.
Yeah, top 16 in Miami using the same list card for card. So.
Yeah, so I want to bring that into this. You guys are sponsored by one of the premierest gaming people in Puerto Rico right now, Got Milk Gaming.
Yes.
And your sponsor, Felix Rodriguez, brought this over to America. And how do you like playing for them? How is that?
It's a good time, a lot of fun guys. They're good testing partners. I'm glad we brought on Ben. Ben was a good addition to the team. Yeah, no, love Felix, good time. Gotta love Debbie.
Oh, yeah. Listen, that's the heart and soul.
Thanks,
Without
Debbie.
her, there's no milk.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just the glass.
She's how do you say milk in Spanish? I'm learning.
Leche.
Yeah.
That's not leche.
And for my friends in Puerto Rico, me gusta la playa.
All right, Goofy Gamers, that is Brad and Ben, who just won my Goofy Gaming Championship. All right, have a good one. Thank you for this 20 long minute.